3, I think.
It's your channel.
Hi everybody, good morning. Hopefully you joined us earlier today for our launch of our fabulous new fast cast resin and also the launch of the beautiful new moulds. I've got a special guest with me. Mike Deakin, close friend, fantastic artist, has a brilliant YouTube channel. Check it out on website mikedeakinart.com or .co.uk. And what's your YouTube channel called?
Same.
Same.
Mike Deakin Art.
Mike Deakin Art. Fantastic. So Mike is going to take it away and do some fantastic stuff with our new resin.
Well, we're going to demold what you did this morning first.
Yes, that'd be great. That'd be lovely. So as you saw at 9 o'clock, I mixed and poured this new fast cast resin, and you could demold after half an hour. It's been a while actually. It's been about an hour or so.
Just over an hour, yes, because we're caffeinated up to the eyeballs now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. So we'll have a look at those first. Okay, over to you.
We're going to overhead.
As if by magic. There we go, the wonders of modern science. Okay, so these were the ones that you did earlier on today. So these are the Baroque frames. So, and the way you can either do these just by either just cracking the edges just to get that bit, or you can turn it upside down and peel back.
Yeah.
Which is like the big reveal.
Oh, they are so lovely.
Yeah.
I love these frames.
On some of the more delicate items, turning the frames or turning the moulds upside down and doing it that way can be beneficial. It's not necessary, but it can be beneficial. But something like these wings, where you just pop the sides and they literally fall out.
Oh, how gorgeous is that?
Yeah, I know not to hold these too close up to the camera because I know the focus isn't brilliant on this one, is it?
No, it's fixed focus. That
yeah,
one.
and that little flash in there, look how easy it just comes off. So literally, that's it, look. All gone. And then you've got your bast cat skull with the faux
ears.
bone ears, I know. Smaller version, and then love those. The bolt heads.
They are gorgeous.
Absolutely fantastic. And you get them on different sizes as well. So you've got smaller ones and you've got the larger ones on this mould.
So what's this mould called again?
This one is Amun and Bast. And that one is the Baroque frames.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Okay, so we said we'd demold those because it was we'd run out of time, hadn't we, earlier? Right. So if
the
I
molds
can,
are on a fantastic price today, so get them while you can.
Do you
I
want
think
to?
A lot of them are already on. I'll take the whole of that actually.
the whole of that.
They are already selling out, so we're on extended dispatch for those. But
Busy show this morning, though.
very, very busy. Yes, it was. Then we've got 20% off all the Ziori molds.
Yep.
And then the resin, you have 200-gram bottles. And this, if you were to buy them on their own, along with the stirrers and the cups, not those.
Not those. Those ones.
They come with those and wooden stirrers,
and the
which are there. Those actually are $29.99. But Alfie's done a really good special offer. If you buy 2 sets, you're saving about £15, and you're getting them for $44.99, and all the offers and discounts automatically are applied at the checkout.
So no need for a code.
No need for a code at all. And then we have cast resin. So if you don't want to actually buy the molds and you just want something for just one project, you can actually buy the cast sets. Now, 2 sets are $10.99, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, if you don't want to invest in the actual moulds themselves, but you still want to have a play with the shapes and the actual cast, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Or you can have a play with the cast and then decide whether you want to buy the moulds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like a try before you buy, really.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Try before you buy. So those are all the special offers on for this weekend. Back over to you.
Lovely. So you did the actual pouring and the casting of the resin items this morning, so I wanted to show you how I'd like to do my mixed media canvases.
Oh,
so
lovely.
you know, fingers crossed we've got enough time in which to do it. So texture wise, or to start off with base wise, I'm going to use one of your fabulous A4 box canvases.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They are out of my stash, so
I'll replace it for you.
I wasn't dropping any hints. You're all right. He says he was dropping hints. Okay, so it's nice depth to it as well, so you've got plenty to play at. I kind of worked out a composition last week for this, but I went from landscape to portrait, and I couldn't decide. I finally settled on the portrait one because I think the casts themselves work better in, well, the ones I'm going to be using anyway. So I'm hoping my fabulous glue gun is...
So why are you using a glue gun rather than the slap it on super thick?
Speed, literally, because I want this to be... when I've used the super thick slap it on, I've usually had to leave it for a good...
I leave it overnight, to be honest, before I paint it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's not possible with a demo like this.
Since we're doing a demo, we need something which is going to be quick and easy. So that's why I'm using my super duper glue gun, which literally sets in seconds. You've got a little bit of wiggle room.
That looks nice.
But it's
instant texture.
Yeah, instant texture. So I love using corrugated cardboard.
I do too.
And yeah, it's just one of those fantastic things just to be able to add onto a project to give you that instant background texture, for speed as well.
Yeah.
I thought about maybe doing a stencil, but it's just going to be striped. It's not going to work. So again, I'm going to start adding in my items. I've got a tub actually. Let's just bring those in and I'll explain what the difference is with these. So these are ones I've already done. Did these the other day. The only reason that I've got different coloured items here, you can see the two different colours, is that one of the things with this resin is that you can add alcohol ink to the resin to change its colour if you want to. If you prefer something with a bit more high contrast, if you've got problems with your eyesight or whatever and still want to work with it, you can add alcohol ink to it, and it will change the colour of the resin to whatever you want. So you can add green, you can add blue, you can add black, although the black tends to go green for some strange reason. So in the Tim Holtz alcoholics or the Ranger alcoholics, the pitch black, when you add it to resin, it goes green.
How
so
weird.
it must be the way the black's made up.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. So you can add alcohol inks to it. You only need a few drops just to change it. This kind of mix for it is for every 100 grams, it's like 15 drops.
Right. Okay,
so for
that's
for 10 grams, it's 1.5 drops.
Yeah. 1.5 drops. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're doing 20, you want 3.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway.
Approximately.
Yeah. It doesn't really make any difference because, you know, the colour can change the more alcohol ink you add, and it doesn't affect the actual chemistry either.
Does it now?
No,
That's good.
No, it doesn't affect the chemistry at all. Right, so I've used a combination of the different, or I'm going to use the combination of the different elements from different moulds. So this is the Baroque frames that we've just seen. So this is one of the larger squares. So we're going to add that. Just drop that down on the bottom. Don't worry about the strings if you're using a glue gun. You know, you get those horrible little like hairs and strings. Just blast it with a hot gun, your hot air gun afterwards, and it just melts them away.
Cool.
Because I know that's like a bugbear with a lot of people who use the hot glue guns, is that they will see those little strings and stuff that are in there. Don't really need them. Just get rid of them. So, but like I said, I'm only doing this just for speed.
Yeah. That's such a gorgeous big cog, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I'm going to use that lock, which I want to overlap it a little bit. So let's just drop that one down there. And then I'm going to overlap that frame there. So I'm going to need something just to tuck under there. So we've got another large cog there to start the composition. So already we're starting to build the composition up that way. So my extension cable for this
isn't quite long enough, is it?
I can manage. So let's just... There we go. That'll do. That will do fine. So now we've got that one down there, I can now add the main by just adding a little bit there. Right. And then just drop that down. Hopefully that will be... Yeah, I missed a little bit under there. So again, those little strings, if you see them, just whip them off. Okay, if you've got more time, then obviously you can use the gel mediums, that kind of thing. But I'm just using the hot glue gun for speed. That gives me a bit more room to play with, thank you for that. And we'll tuck that one just underneath. In case fiddling about with cables under the desk here. You're trying to get it so it's closer for me. There we go. You can already start to see like the texture building up on there now.
Is that solid already?
Yeah, and that's the big difference in using gel medium or the super thick, is the fact that you can literally, that ain't going nowhere. I mean, I use my hot glue gun when I'm doing demos like this, mainly just for speed. You know, most of these demos that I do, or tutorials that I do, I tend to speed up as well. I do a lot of speeded up, but only on, like when you're doing things like the drying time.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to sit and watch paint dry, do they really? No. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Horses for courses. Yeah. Okay, so we're starting to get some of those elements in. So let's add a few more towards the top. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit on the back. Got a few seconds to place. And that, just a couple of seconds, and that will be set. Now we've got enough room to maybe stick one just under there. Look, nice. So just do a little bit.
I love the fact that they're so chunky, these cogs.
Yeah, absolutely. But throughout the entire of the set of the 10 molds, you've got such a variety of different sizes and shapes to play with.
Yeah, so these lovely big shapes, you can really fill up an A4 canvas quickly.
Very quickly.
But
yeah.
then you've got all the normal, what I'd call the normal size, and the smaller ones, just to add in all the detail.
Yeah.
But so it just makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
You can infill really quickly and easily.
Yeah.
And again, look, I've just stuck that on.
That's great.
And it's already set enough for you to be able to tip it. So, right, let's bring in the main big item. Obviously, I had to use the mecha moth.
Of course.
So, but for on this one, because I'm hoping the cable's going to be long enough, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it and put the glue directly onto the edges there, and just a tad there, and a little bit. Actually, I probably didn't need that bit at the top.
Okay. Fingers, you've got asbestos fingers.
Yeah, that's years of doing this. Okay.
That's looking fabulous already, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can build up texture really quickly. Okay, so let's add a few more bits down here now. So we've got another cog. I want to add a little bit of detail into this section here. So I'll put a little bit of glue there. That will stick on there. It's like there's been a spider on this, look. Cobwebs and spider webs everywhere. And then I'm going to bring in another one of the...
Do you know that actually this studio is full of cobwebs?
Well, you know. Right, so that one, that smaller one, is from that smaller set, which was the nocturnal insects.
Nocturnal insects.
Yeah, so that's the nocturnal insects. This one's the mecha moth. So this is just another one of those. And the cogs are all kind of like from a variety of different... I've tried to use as many items from the different molds that I possibly can. Just show you what the variety of the shapes and stuff that you get on each of them, and the fact that you can use mix and match.
And they all coordinate, don't they? They all go together beautifully.
Oh, absolutely. So let's just drop that one down there.
And of course, you know, all of these are going to go with existing molds that you've got from Prima previously.
Yeah, I mean, if you've purchased some of the Prima ones in the past, then you can mix and match them. What did I do with that? The ones that I did as a testing of the other one with the skull. There it is. That's from a previous one. So this is from, I think it was last year's release, or because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. It might have been the year before that. So that was the other Baroque frame, the first Baroque frame.
Fabulous,
and this was
isn't
the skull and crossbones set that they did, which, you know, is just absolutely amazing. But it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually the back. It's the same, honestly. It's not, you know, there's no magic involved. Well, there is magic involved, but that's the magic of the actual materials and the way that you're actually sticking them all together. Right, so let's just...
says it's a great idea to use the heat gun on the strings.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of my biggest bugbears. It was like, what do I do? How do I get rid of all these strings? And I used to have a brush, like a stiff bristled brush that I used to go around everything and brush away the strings. But if you just use your heat gun, they literally just melt away. And I know I'm using hot glue, but my hot glue gun, it's a high temperature one.
Yeah.
So that it won't remelt the glue.
Yeah.
So, right, okay, so let's have a look to see what else we're going to stick in. Let's use one of those bolt heads that we were talking about earlier.
Nagaya Ashtown says, looking great, Mike.
I think it's
Thank you.
Nairi.
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 Nairi's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
She is. So.
Adelaide, South Australia, actually.
Is it? I thought she was. Oh no, that's somebody else from New Zealand I'm thinking of. Sorry, Nairi.
Nairi. I do beg your pardon.
Nairi's been one of my longest subscribers, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
Very long time, from right from the early days when I first started. So you'd think I ought to know where she is by now, don't you?
And Dee's online, loving the moulds. They are beautiful, aren't they?
They are, absolutely. Like I said, if you've purchased any of their Thinner moulds in the past, you'll notice the difference with the flexibility this year.
Yeah.
They are much more flexible than the previous year's releases, which is which is lovely. Let's just drop a few small bits in there.
This resin just works so beautifully.
It does. It does. Let's see. I've got a tub of bits here. If you're wondering where I was getting everything from, was it on camera already?
Yeah, we can see that.
Can you?
Yeah,
right, that's cool. So, if you were interested in the colour, the alcohol ink colour that I used for the biscuit coloured ones, it was the teakwood. So that's the colour name. But all these are just the natural resin. So let's get some more screw heads in there, because I think we need some of those. Another one of those bolt heads as well. Yeah. I mean, what I love about these molds is the fact that you do get all these kind of like little extras that go with, because they're what you need just to fill up those gaps. So you've got your big items, which are your main kind of composition pieces, and then you've got these smaller bits that you can just tuck under just to fill in those gaps. So
it's looking great.
Yeah, so we need just to add a few more bits and pieces down here, I think. Let's add another cog.
Max Durham has just said, please don't make me spend any more. My card is on fire. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I have to say, we do really, really appreciate you supporting the business, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we love.
No,
carry on the
absolutely.
business.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. It's good for us.
Yeah.
You know, for as producers of this stuff, but also we do actually use it as well.
We do.
You know, we're not just selling the stuff and then that's it.
No.
We do actually use it on a regular basis. So we tend to create and design stuff that we
love,
that we want to use.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and it's.
We don't design for the sake of it. We design
we design it because we want it.
Yeah, I really wish we had this. Okay, let's go and buy it.
I mean, I know.
Let's go make it.
I was joking earlier on about it took me 3 years to convince Kay to do a particular colour of paint,
It's true.
metallic paint. It's only because I wanted it myself and nobody else was selling that particular colour, or it was very difficult to get hold of. So I said to Kate, "Look, we really need to, come up with this colour."
We're talking about the brass monkey.
The brass monkey, yeah, which originally I'd named Brass Neck.
Yeah, you had, hadn't you?
Yeah, and it wasn't until the label came through, it was like, oh, they've changed the name. Without asking. It's my colour.
And what did we do the other day? We sat down and went through some more colours, didn't we?
Again, I'd been asking Kay for quite a while for a particular type of or colour family. And just out the blue, she sent me this message saying, what were the names of those colours again? And I just sent her a message back saying, what? Because I didn't know what she was talking about, because it was that long ago since we actually talked about it.
It was a few months, I have to say.
Yeah, a few months. A few months. Last year, I think it was, when I first mentioned it. So, yeah, so we're currently working on a new colour family, aren't we?
We are.
So, but I'm not going to give any. I'm not going to give any games, any
clues.
Clues, yeah. I'm not going to give any clues, but
you're right, because I like them too.
Yeah, I mean, these are colours that it's like, why haven't we got these already?
I know.
Don't you think it's about time we had?
And the matte colours, aren't they?
They're opaque, yeah, matte colours. Yeah. So.
But yeah, those will be fabulous.
One in particular of those colours, I wanted it not because it's a paint, but it's because of its other uses. There's a bit of a clue. It's used as a...
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You can't say that to everybody out there and tease them like that. Okay, you're going to have to tell them that it's... Go on, you can say the name, you're allowed.
Right, well, the colour I'm referring to is a red oxide. And it's not necessarily used as a paint for painting. It's actually the base colour that they use for gilding.
Yes.
So if you've got like an old mirror and you can see a red colour underneath the gold leaf, that's the red oxide, and that's what I want it for.
Yeah.
I want it for the ground.
Yes.
Not necessarily for a paint to put on like stuff like this.
But so it is a beautiful colour anyway.
That'll give you a clue as to the style of paints that I've finally persuaded Kay and Alfie, I have to say.
It's not down to persuasion. Honestly, it's not. It's down to money.
Yeah, I know. You can't release everything all at once. I appreciate that. But I think we're done, actually. I don't think we're going to add any more.
Oh, okay.
I want to leave some space for texture, for the background. So having actual elements like this is fine, but you need that negative space as well.
You do, absolutely.
Okay, so
that's beautiful.
We're now going to get into that part, which is probably going to be the most uninteresting bit of all. I'm going to be painting black. So literally, I'm going to be going over everything in black. So you used the Raven black metallic on yours this morning, didn't you?
I did.
Whereas this is just the black gesso.
So yeah, I would normally put black gesso on and then a paint over the top.
Yeah.
And I did black gesso the cover of the journal.
That's right. When you did the journal, you put the black gesso on.
I did, yeah.
But I think on the actual metallic, on the the cast items, didn't you use the Raven Black?
Yeah, so as you can see here, this is the colour of the journal. I did black gesso here. Oh, I'm not in shot, sorry.
It's okay. I'll tell you what, let me move to one side because nobody wants to...
Do you want to move? Well, move to this camera then.
Okay,
You can carry
yeah,
on.
you can carry on, darling. There we go. Okay, so what I've done here is, let me come closer. There we go. So I've used black gesso on the base. Don't worry, it's a bit messy. I'll tidy that up in this afternoon when they have a play. And then over the top of all of this design, I've actually put metallic black raven or raven black. So that gives us the base, but all the other metallic paints on there. So when I go over the top for some of these details, right in the base is that black metallic, which gives it a really nice depth. I just think it works really nicely as well. So this was on this morning's show, so you can actually watch back that. And I've used all metallic paints on this, whereas Mike's going to show you this really cool technique that he's come up with, and I absolutely love it.
By accident.
Yeah, by accident.
It was totally by fluke, because we were looking at something else, weren't we?
We were. So this is an A5 journal, just to give you an idea of the size of it. And these are really, really popular. I think people have realised that, you know, they are such gorgeous quality. So it's inside, we have really nice heavyweight watercolour card, which is, you can hear that is gorgeous. It's hot pressed for us, and it's the top quality. They're actually made by Pink Pig for us, but they're made specially with this amazing card inside. So they're just gorgeous.
280 gram.
280 gram. Oh, it feels heavier. It feels like 360, but it's 280 GSM.
Which is pretty thick.
It is, and you can have it obviously portrait or landscape. And I like the fact that it's ring bound, because that means that you can lay them flat.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant, isn't it? And you can just work on one page at a time like this.
As an art journaler, being able to lay a journal flat
It's so
is
important.
so
important. Absolutely. So we have these in A5, A6, square 8 inches, and A4. So there we go. So back to Mike.
Lovely. So as you can see now, normally when I do, like I said, tutorials and videos, when I'm doing a mixed media canvas like this is the section that I would normally speed through, because, you know, you're literally watching paint dry. But it gives us an opportunity, I suppose, just to talk about some of the smaller items on those molds. So having the larger items is great if you're wanting a statement piece. But seeing as we're coming up to the festive season, I know there's a lot of people out there who like to try and make a little bit of extra cash at kind of like craft fairs and craft markets and stuff. The smaller items on those molds make fabulous items or focal points for jewellery.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So whether you use this fast cast resin and then paint using whatever technique that you favour, either the one that I'm about to show you or Kay's technique with the metallic paints, but there is an alternative, like I'm going to show you in a moment, once I've got this canvas pretty much covered in gesso.
So these small pieces here,
Yeah, I mean, pin badge, brooch,
little brooches.
yeah, little pendant for a little necklace.
Yeah, this sort of size.
No, she's okay.
Yeah.
They're just really lovely. Even this, you know,
Yeah,
pendant
would make a brooch.
and that would be lovely layered up like this.
I mean, in this kind of like troubled financial times that we're living in at the moment here, particularly in the UK. I can't really say for other countries. I know since COVID and all that kind of stuff, money's been harder to come by, and people are looking at alternative revenue streams and that kind of thing. But a lot of people I know try and make a little bit of extra money with Christmas craft fairs and all that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But these small items on those moulds can be utilised for, like I said, for little necklaces, little drop earrings and all that kind of thing.
But they're lovely, all of these little cogs.
Yeah. As soon as I saw, I think it's on that Nocturnal Insects 1K, the little individual like dragonfly wings.
Oh yes.
I mean, I immediately saw those, the smaller ones, as dangling on earrings.
Well, these are the big ones.
Yeah.
But imagine the little ones. Well, I'll try and find a little one. Here we go. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
lovely.
Right. So
now, also, you could actually pour it so it's thinner.
Yes. Yeah. You control how much and how thick they actually are. But if you just look on the end, I don't know whether you can see the camera. See how thick that is. If you've got one of those fine drills, you could actually drill into it while it's still a little bit soft.
Yeah.
So you can add your little circular ring.
Yes.
For earrings.
Jump rings.
Yeah. I was thinking more like the little ring that's got like a little screw on the end, like you use for.
Oh
like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Michelle says great
fish
for
hooks.
adding to small bookmarks.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. So again, perfect little Christmas stocking filler, little item.
Helen says Anna Grace's eyes lit up at the mention of making jewellery with these.
Anna Grace made some lovely jewellery.
Really?
Yeah. Amethyst necklace.
Yeah.
And look at these lovely little wings as well.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine those as little drop earrings, or even as charms on a bracelet, because they're light. Because the resin, it weighs the resin weighs the same when it's wet as it is when it's dry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Actually, it's a chemical reaction, isn't it?
If you weigh one of the wings and it's like 10 grams, you need to mix 5 and 5.
That's great. It's
really such an easy way to work out, what it's going to be.
You can work out how much it's going to cost you to make and how much you need to sell it for.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the beauty as well, because you can work out how much your resins cost you. You can divide it by the gram, and then you can work out exactly what your base cost is.
And also you can personalise them as well, because if a customer wants it in a certain colourway, then again you can take orders.
Yeah,
and
if your customers a purple girl or boy, or prefers greens or pinks or unicorn kind of colours, then you can do them bespoke.
Adele's asked, would you be able to stick the resin pieces to tin cans, and would they be able to go outside for the garden?
Yes.
Yes. So you can use a super thick slap-it-on to stick them together.
Or hot glue.
Or hot glue, yes.
But I mean, super thick would probably be better.
Yeah, it's a lot stronger, I think, and weatherproof.
If you're going to put it outside, then I would suggest you use the super thick slap-it-on.
Yeah, but the resin pieces are fantastic for outside.
And they don't rust.
No.
But I suppose the tin can would.
Can you imagine the nice big one on the outside of the shelf?
Can you imagine that as a part of wind chimes?
Oh, lovely.
Or even as a dream catcher.
Or you can actually, when you demold and it's still soft, you can shape it around the plant pots.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to mention later on. If you do demold it after that 30 minutes, you'll find that it is still flexible. You can bend it around a plant pot, you can bend it around a bottle, a vase, or anything like that. Once it's dry, it'll stay in that curved shape.
Yeah.
And then, or even on a hat. For the steampunks out there.
Oh, nice.
If you wanted an embellishment for a hat, then you can form it around the curve of the hat, and it will stay in that shape. I know that skull is just
really bright.
Yeah.
It will be bright because it's got a lot of black in this area. That's why it's
Yes.
See, you notice that as soon as the black gets covered up, that it goes. But that as a necklace,
On a choker.
yeah. On a
Can you imagine that on a black velvet choker?
Yeah, with one of the moths on top.
Yeah.
That would look fantastic, wouldn't it?
So that's not taken too long, has it?
No, we've had a nice chat and everything, haven't we?
Well, I thought it would give the
Nice
perfect
ideas.
opportunity to talk about, the other aspects rather than just making canvases or, for people to utilise and get value from those moulds.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really good idea to get the two resins kits. That's a brilliant offer to get loads and loads made.
Absolutely.
And it's so quick. You don't have to wait, 24 hours or the next day to demold stuff.
Okay, so at this stage now, normally I would probably have painted each of the items individually first and then stuck them down. Have we got, or do you have in your craft room, Kay, a spritz bottle?
I do. And it's right next to you.
Is it empty?
It's full. Do you need it empty?
No. Can we mix some of the black gesso in there with water?
Yeah.
A watered down solution of the gesso.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just show you something.
Yeah, Nairi can't believe you've got a white shirt on.
I'm surprised nobody's commented about the dicky bow, to be honest, ladies. I wore it especially for you.
Okay, how much? I've got about up to there.
Right, there's a spatula there. Is that big enough to go in? If you just add a spatula or so of the black gesso and then just give it a shake.
Not that much.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more because it's left on the spatula.
See, Nari's probably remembering the amount of times that I've actually splattered my trousers or my shirt or the wall. Apparently there's something now known as the Deakin manoeuvre where I do black splatters and it goes everywhere.
So do you think it's very fluid?
No, that's fine.
Okay?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Right,
I'll do that for you.
Babby wipe just for the I'll just give the brush a little bit of a rinse. Okay, so does it need releasing? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I locked it to shake
Right,
it.
so I've got a watered down black gesso, so just to get into those little underside areas, look, where you can't really get into with your brush.
That's genius. I have to say, why didn't you tell me to do that before? That is genius. You've kept that a secret from me. And here's me struggling to actually get it all gessoed.
Yeah, well the thing is, if you put too much on, that happens. Look, when it's not quite 100% dry.
Yeah.
But the more gesso you add,
Yeah.
obviously the more viscous it becomes. Vicious. The more vicious it becomes.
Vicious.
And it covers better and it doesn't move anymore. Right, so hot glue gun, not hot glue gun, hot.
It's very hot. Can you choose my gun?
Is it hotter?
Yeah, it's really hot. Be careful because it is actually a pinch for thing.
Industrial grade.
Shall we turn your hot glue gun off?
Yes, thank you.
Nairi's got a proper English gent.
keep it moving.
Keep it moving, that's right.
Just turn it round. Actually, I've actually just cleaned that black brush and we'll probably need it again.
Yeah, I've cleaned it and wiped it.
Yeah, I'll probably need it for the black gesso again.
Oh, okay.
Just to quickly go over these areas that I've exposed. I think we're okay actually for a few seconds in one place. Right, let's just leave that to settle for a second.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know when to stop when you can see steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so just go back over those areas there. Wow, that certainly is a hot glue gun.
You're right, it is industrial strength. I don't recommend them because they are designed for paint stripping.
But
Does the job.
But it does the job incredibly quickly.
yeah, as a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those kind of few little areas where we missed.
Smell it.
But I think that's probably okay. So right, I'll just one more blast. Maybe if I do it a bit further away, like from the courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I think we're okay there now. That should do it. Right, so obviously this has had to be done pretty quick, but that's just needs maybe a second or so. Right, so we'll just pop that to one side for a second.
Yeah.
Just to let it cool down enough for me to be able to touch it again. And then let's just show you what I'm going to do for the colour. Now, this is my little collection of Luscious powders. So these are the Luscious powders that IndigoBlu introduced a few years ago in many, many colours, in many different variations. Some have got like goldish mica in them, some have got silver in, some have got blue, you've got different kind of interference ones.
Yes.
There's a massive range of colours.
And also there's different mixes, as you've said. Some are duotones, some have
Yes.
like a sparkle in them.
Right, if I can just bring that back in again. So this one, if you can see the shine on that, can you also see that in the top part around here, there's kind of like a green and a brown.
Yes.
And some warm kind of coppery tones. Now that's the verdigris one. So that's the one called verdigris. Now in the pot, it looks brown. But can you see the green flecks in there? When you actually add it to a medium, whether it's water or anything else, that's the kind of beautiful sheen that you get using those Luscious powders. The skull is the grungy gold, which I think that's Olive Grove. Hang on, where's the grungy gold gone? There we go. Grungy gold. Now that looks green.
It does.
So again, oh, it looks green. But when you mix it, you get that green kind of cast to it, almost a brassy cast.
Yes, you do.
And
that's because we've put pigment in it
Yeah.
as well, so you get the colour, but you also get different types of mica in, so that when the light hits it, you get that colour change.
Yeah. Now, can you see that red one? That's got blue in it. That's got blue in.
Yes, it does.
So that's what I call one of the interference ones.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
but you've also got some interference.
Yeah. We call them duotones because
Duotones, right.
then you can see that they have two colours.
So when I was 17, I had a suit this colour.
No
That was
way.
two-tone like that, green and gold.
Wow.
And it changed depending on. It was a mod suit.
Because that's the 80s
Do you remember
kid.
the mod suit? Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So as you can see, you get beautiful kind of colour rendition out of those, and they've. How many colours have you got now, Alfie? Do you reckon?
I can tell you 68.
So just one or two then.
But they're just so gorgeous.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And again, let me just bring this over here. So can you see there? Now there's mermaid
so
tails,
nice.
which is a greeny coloured one. And then there's the Penny Dreadful on there. But can you see that pinkish tinge on the wings?
Yes.
That is the not Unicorn Dreams. Which one was it?
I want to go for this.
Yeah, you find the colour and I'll hold it up for you.
I've got a funny feeling I've actually left it at home. That one. Or it could actually be that Unicorn Dreams. I thought it was Victorian Rose or something. Vintage Rose.
Vintage Rose.
That means I've not put it in my pot. I've not put it in
I
the...
can get you vintage
No, it's
Rose
okay.
now.
I mean, but you can see you've got different kind of tones in there. Now, can you also see on the back of that Death's Head moth, can you just see how the skull shape looks almost white?
Yes.
That's just the silver.
Wow.
I just literally
Gorgeous.
just tipped a little bit of the silver onto there just to give it that contrast of the skull. Now, as we were saying about jewellery making, that's just a couple of items. There's the screw head, the moth, and one of the clock faces. But that would make a fabulous brooch.
Oh, it would. It would, really.
Or even as a pendant.
Yeah.
So, it just goes to show. Right, so, how have I got... Oh,
go on, I'll hold
no,
this
it's
up.
okay. If you can go back to the overhead camera, Alfie, I'll just show it now. Normally, these Luscious powders are mixed with water, aren't they, to make like a metallic paint. Now, one of the things with those, if you mix with water and then you reactivate again later, it'll move again.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just wetting my finger. You can see it's moist. That ain't moving.
No. Why is that then?
Because I've mixed it with that.
Yay! Slap it on gloves.
One of the things that Kay and I have been talking about developing a new product, and a couple of things that we tried hadn't really worked as well as we hoped.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I just wonder whether or not it's because it's not runny enough
Yeah.
to mix with it. So I thought, well, what have we got which is kind of shiny and runny enough that you can mix a powder with it? And then I thought, well, hang on, what about the slap it on gloss? We've already got that. So will it work? So you can see how easy that is.
I'll put your paint mat there if you need it. It's just underneath.
Sorry.
I just thought you might put your canvas there in a minute.
That's me being told off.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, so let's just look at this olive grove. Okay, so let's just open it up.
It's just if you put it on the white, you'll be able to see the colour better.
Yeah. Yes, Mum. So let me just take about an equal colour, about equal amount to the gloss that I've put down. That's about equal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a magic trick, isn't it?
And then just tip it over. And then just mix it in. And what you get is this beautiful kind of shimmery paste. And incidentally, once you've done this, you can also put it through a stencil.
Yes, of course. That would look amazing.
I mean, can you... Is the camera picking that up, Alfie? Is it?
Yeah.
Can you see the shimmer in there?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to bring that canvas back over, Kay? Before I get my legs slapped. Okay, so I'll just hand you those and bring the paint mat in that she's so graciously given me. Okay. Oh, I've got that same brush that I used for the gesso, and I've just got some kitchen roll here because when you now pick up that paste, I'm going to go straight to the moth.
Wow. Wow, that looks amazing. And the gloss really does make the Luscious sing, doesn't it? It emphasises that bright metallic look to it. But also, because you've mixed it with the Slap-It-On gloss, it was a white liquid.
Yep.
And
But
when it dries,
it disappears.
And that's going to make it even brighter, isn't it?
I've just look at that.
Oh, that is just gorgeous.
Now you can just go around with your brush, pushing that colour into all the detail. I mean, when I first kind of like played with this and created it, I think I sent you a photograph of what I did, didn't I? And I just went, OMG.
Yeah. It is just
because now,
absolutely
as it's starting
amazing.
it's drying already.
Yeah.
Now, can you see? I mean, that's touch dry. That literally is dry already. You don't even need your hot glue gun.
Wow.
It's literally dry.
Heat gun rather than hot glue.
Sorry, heat gun. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
just
And look at the colours really
how
coming through.
crazy is that?
Mad. It's just mad.
Just unbelievable. And one of the things that just kind of like blew my mind is the fact that within seconds it's dry enough to touch.
Yeah. And it's not going to move. So once you've done that, it's just not going to move.
Exactly.
It's like become a varnish, hasn't it?
It's a metallic varnish.
Yeah.
You see, even when you use gilding waxes, you've got to wait for it to dry.
Yeah.
Before you buff it up.
Yeah.
Not with this.
This you don't.
Not
don't
with
have
this.
to buff it up.
No, at all.
Instant results, isn't it?
It's just crazy mad. Let's just get in there. I mean, look how the detail is just starting to pop
Yeah.
the minute you add not just a colour, but it's a reflective colour as well.
Yeah.
It's just super crazy. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I think we'll switch. We'll keep that colour there, but we'll also switch up. And let's mix another. But and that's the other thing. While it's still wet, you can just clean your brushes with water. Thank you for that clean one. Okay, so let's just use another colour. Let's bring in that Penny Dreadful, which is possibly one of my most favourite.
Oh, I love Penny Dreadful. Absolutely love it.
Being also at the moment, I'm off-duty steampunk.
Are you off duty?
Because I'm not steampunking at the moment, am I? Unlike somebody I can mention who is currently at a steampunk show in Wales. That's Ian. So those of you that know Ian, he's in Llangollen, whatever, I don't know how you even pronounce it.
Beautiful part of the world.
Is that a steampunk? Yeah, a steampunk event called Cogwarts.
Oh wow, really?
It's run by a fantastic lady called Tink. She also does the Welsh fairy shows, like fairy festivals. Yeah, with a name like Tink, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. She's lovely. She's lovely as Tink. So Ian's spending the weekend in Wales. Okay, so just dry my brush, get rid of any excess, and then I'm going to pick up some of that copper. Penny
Dreadful.
The Penny Dreadful. Look. I'm going to start blending that now. Just do a transition.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it?
It's just, and again,
Touch dry.
ta-da! Look.
Wow.
So you can add your layer. You haven't even got time to go for a cup of tea or even take a loo break before it's dry.
Yeah.
Just watch this. Watch that.
Oh, you know, that's why I love those little hearts. They're just gorgeous.
Just in the space of a few seconds.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got some copper of that Penny Dreadful down there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just whack a bit of colour around the bottom. And I'm actually going into the detail with the colour, right? Because that then will enable me later to come back and dry brush over the top of that with another colour.
Right.
So I'm going to flip the canvas back over and I'm going to start putting some of that colour over here now. And just lightly just tone it in. So I'm using light brush strokes and then heavier brush strokes to get into that corner, and then lighter again when we've already got colour, just to add a little bit of dry brush in.
That looks fabulous.
And then let's just do the same thing on the wings.
I think Alfie's impressed as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, he likes it. Wow, that's really, really high praise.
That's the highest compliment you're going to get.
Yeah.
Believe me.
It's all right. So I'm just lightly going over just to kind of blend those two colours together.
Wow.
Just lightly brushing and then heavier again to get into the detail.
I just love it. I just love it. I think this is going to look amazing. Well, it already does.
So let's just grab some more of that colour. I'm just conscious, obviously, of time. So...
No, you're fine. You're fine with time.
So how long we had so far?
We've had about 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And we have covered quite a lot of ground.
We have.
Okay, so now we've got that, let's start introducing another colour. Just grab a wet wipe. A babby wipe. Just to clean the palette. There we go. No having to rush to the bathroom to wash your brushes or anything. Again, that's literally it. It's a baby wipe.
Baby wipe.
That's good enough to work again now. So what colour should we add next? Should we add more of a turquoisey colour?
Oh,
well,
yes.
that's green, isn't it? What's this? Oh,
So that's
teal.
teal.
I think that'll do, don't
One
you?
of my favourites. Love teal.
Right, just tap the pot before opening it, because otherwise sometimes it goes poof.
Yes. And people ask me why I keep mine upside down like this.
Because you can see the
So you
colour.
can see the colour, that's right. So that's why we tap them before we open them.
Okay, so just,
And the Slap It On gloss is available on the website.
yeah.
How much is that, Alfie?
I will tell you shortly. $5.50.
$5.50.
What,
So
for that
that's-
size bottle?
Yeah, 100 ml.
You kidding?
Yeah.
Do you know, if I had to pay for it, I wouldn't mind. Just saying.
Oh, bless you.
Let me just add a little bit more. So this was a new bottle when I started playing the other day.
I love that teal. It's just gorgeous.
It doesn't really take long either, just to
No.
kind of like mix it and make sure you've got it all.
No.
This one's going to be interesting because there's a little, I can already see, apart from that dog hair.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. It could be from Mr. B, who's fast asleep now.
Oh, yes, he's killed.
He's absolutely fast asleep. Right, I can already see just from the sheen of that we've got a little bit of a silvery undertone.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so, and that's the beauty, you see. Sometimes you don't know what colour you're going to get. A bit like a box of chocolates, to coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get until you actually start mixing it. So again, let's pick up that blue. And then let's bring some of that blue in from this side. Maybe got too much on there a little bit.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's
And
gorgeous.
just so you know, look, that copper,
Yeah.
the penny dreadful, dry.
And that's brilliant because when you're doing layering, you don't have to wait for the layers to dry. You want to be able to go over them, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's, you know, you don't have to go away and come back half an hour later, it's all ready to go.
Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful.
Look at that. Now, obviously, we've done this on the black because I think that you get better kind of
I agree.
colour if you do it on a black background.
Yeah, because it makes it reflect back at you rather than being absorbed.
Yeah.
Visually, that is. So I would agree with that Luscious does look better on a black background.
So just to kind of blend it, so you can already see the silver starting to show through.
You can.
So let me just grab another brush and just grab a little bit of that. And I'm just going to do the edges.
Yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Just to kind of warm. There we go. As long as I don't remember to leave the brush. Or don't.
Do you want me to just give that a quick wash for you?
Yeah, can do. So that's just adding in like a little bit of, almost like a patina blue in that corner, but you can see that silver show through. So let's just bring that down here. And again, we can just pick up maybe just a little bit of that on the edges. Just to kind of give you that transition from one colour to the next. So can you see on the wings now?
Yeah,
You've got now that silvery sheen.
That's lovely. If you did do it on a white gesso background, you're probably going to end up with like pastel-y colours, aren't you? Rather than your softer look of your Luscious. Rather than these
it's more dramatic on black.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of show you how easy it is.
I love the way you're doing block colours.
Yeah, I wanted to do that because you can kind of see how you can also like you can blend the two colours together, so you get that transition from one to the other, which is kind of, I mean, if you look on the body, it's almost seamless.
Yeah.
But just so easy to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, it dries so quick.
And this is the slap it on gloss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the gloss will enhance the colour as well. You don't want to be using the matte, otherwise it just mattifies the whole.
Yeah, it just goes dull.
Luscious.
It just goes dull.
Oh, look at that blue over the copper. Yeah. That's lovely.
So I think I'm just going to add maybe just a tad
of teal.
Just over the top of this. Remember when I said you can dry brush it if you get into the corners?
Yeah.
So now we've got that little bit of...
Just push it up a little bit.
Sorry. Now we've got that little bit of the silvery tone in that corner. And I'll just try and catch just those raised edges.
And
so now you've got that...
very dry there, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's, I mean, look. It's literally not coming on. There's just nothing coming off the brush. So now we've got that kind of visual triangle coming there now. So it's drawing the eye around the canvas. It's giving movement to the canvas. But I think what I want to do is just add one more colour.
And how do you choose your colours?
There's no real kind of... The canvas kind of chooses the colours for itself. It's more of an intuitive kind of thing. Once you actually see how the colours are working on the canvas, it kind of informs you what colours to use. I'm wanting to use a red now. So there's the vintage rose. That was the one that I was talking about earlier. So that's the one. I'll just lift that off again. So can you see the pink tinge just on the edges there? Yeah. That's the vintage rose. So we're going to use that. So just tap it just to knock it down. All right. So make sure I pick up the right bottle, not the resin. And then we'll grab a little bit more out. So again, like I said, about equal amounts of powder to the amount of resin. Not resin. I've got resin on my
Slap it on
brain.
gloss.
Slap it on gloss, yeah. Just pop the lid back on that teal one there because
Yeah.
I will sneeze and it will go everywhere. Right, so this vintage rose one, obviously it's a reddish kind of almost like a Victorian rose, isn't it?
Yes.
Like a Victorian heritage colour, and maybe not used enough. Slap it on there. That was a satisfying noise.
And I noticed that the resin pieces, they really take the gesso well, don't they?
Yes.
So they're very easy to paint over.
Yeah, super easy. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to use black. You don't have to use white. You could use clear
Yes.
if you wanted to. There's nothing. You know, just try it. Depends on the depth of colour of the medium that you're going to put over the top. So, let's just clean my spatula. Right. This is where it'll start warming up now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that copper's warm anyway. I'm just using a wet wipe just to take off the excess from the dropsy. Just off the edge of the brush. Okay, now then. So it doesn't look it, but there's gold in that pink.
There's gold in there, Harold.
Yes, so watch.
Oh, that's lovely. That is so nice.
So we'll just get a little bit of a transition.
It looks great over that teal. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
So let's get some right into those. What I like about this vintage rose one is that it's not super
Pink.
bright, super pink. Yeah, it's not bubblegum or like unicorn pink, kind of candy floss pink.
Yeah, it is that lovely sort of heritage colour, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the sort of pink you'd see in an old Victorian drawing room,
Yes.
which I'm presuming was the intention.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of the red velvet sofas,
Yeah.
chaise longue.
Yeah, red velvet drapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so just at the top of that olive, just to now pick up how it works well with that green.
Gosh, you wouldn't have thought so, but it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll just pick up just a little bit on the brush,
Oh, yes.
and then just lightly go over the raised edges, and it just kind of warms it up a tad. And I think we've actually got quite a lot. I think the brush has got just a little bit too much on. There we go.
Yeah, on the wings. I'll just pop it down a fraction.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's lovely. How
Thank-
you've got the copper on the edges there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you've got that warmth.
And then you can just
The
look to
rose.
say, right, okay, where else do we need just a little bit of that? And I think just over here.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to take off excess. Haha, look at that.
Oh, now the copper and rose looks amazing.
And then let's
The
just,
camera doesn't always pick up all of the detail,
We can put it.
but we'll put it in front of the face on camera. Right. Oh, that teal and the rose.
yeah. So let me just wash the
That's
brush.
lovely about watching somebody else do it, because they'll use different combinations
Yeah.
and a different technique, because I sort of blob it everywhere. But yours is a bit more considered, and you've got larger areas of it, and then you start layering over the top.
Yeah. Now, just to point out, how long ago did we mix this?
A while, and it's still workable.
Yeah.
I mean, that paint mat does help, doesn't it?
Well, it does.
But it's still workable, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you just want to just
Go back over, add more layers.
right, so I want to just add a little bit more of that teal,
Teal. Oh,
just over the top this time of the pink, just to kind of give it that little bit more of a transition,
yeah.
and then maybe just add a little bit on the wings. I'm going in the opposite direction.
Okay, if you look at it on the TV screen.
Yeah, you can barely see it, can you?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you can just sit and go, do you know what? I think I'll just add maybe a little bit of blue there, just to kind of tone that colour down a bit, just to give it a little bit of a contrast from the wing.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And then maybe we'll just add a little bit more of that blue over there, so that you've got the pink on one side, the copper in the middle, and the blue on the end.
And this is what ties it in. What you're doing now is really lovely. It just ties all of the canvas in because you're using the same colours but just layering little tiny touches here and there. And Watkins says looks gorgeous. Denise Hunter says fantastic.
What I always say is, you know, people are hesitant about using colour, and I always say to them, look, it doesn't matter, you know, what you do, nobody's going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the colour police are not going to come knocking on your door.
No, they're not.
And say you've used, you know, you've used colours that are contrasting or non-complementary.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't matter.
No.
You know, use the colours you want to use, and you get the feeling of what you like and what's pleasing to you.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
You're absolutely right.
you've only got yourself to please. And I'm not going to do any more to that now.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Can we hold it up to
Don't
the
forget,
camera?
it'll now be dry.
So I'm going to do. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, I'll just get it straight and then I'll come in.
So if you just raise it up so we can see the moth. And look at the detail, look at the veining on the wings.
Wow.
And then if you just tilt it slightly left and right, you can see the shine. There you go.
It's just fabulous, isn't it? And then if we come down.
I mean, even that cardboard.
I know, just that cardboard, it's just a bit of a box. That's just awesome. Is that gorgeous?
Look at the heart. Look at that heart.
Oh, the heart is just amazing. Let's come down a little bit. Look at all those cogs. I mean, even the cogs and the screw heads are just gorgeous on those molds.
Yeah.
That resin really picks up all that detail
It does.
beautifully. I'm so surprised that it works. I mean, I shouldn't be, but it just works so well. It just picks up every last little bit. Absolutely stunning. Brilliant. Well done. Well done.
So don't forget, so you've got, what did you say, Alfie? 68 colours of the Luscious?
Yes.
How many have I got? What's in there? 24?
24 probably.
So I'd need
Another 3.
I needed a 3 tubs.
Tubs, yeah.
I think I need to stop off at your shop on the way home. But yeah, so there you go. So, and you could further unify this if you wanted to by taking maybe a gold and just maybe going over one final time.
Yes.
Or even if you wanted to, get some white gesso and just maybe just do a little dusting of the white over. Yeah, just a hint, just to give it that kind of
pop.
that frost. I like to call it the early morning frost.
Oh wow, yes.
So
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Alfie's been pressing buttons. What have you done?
So Alison says, Iris age 9 says, awesome moth.
Thank you very much, Iris.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, but like I said, look, no drying time.
That
It's
is just,
literally completely and utterly dry.
So we're getting comments through. That is just stunning from Mags. Colours are awesome. Stunning, Mike. Looks fantastic. Looks great. Looks gorgeous. Fantastic. Thanks so much for a great demo.
Everybody, thank you
brilliant.
so much for your kind comments. I hope you've enjoyed watching us do these today. And that technique with the slap it on gloss and the Luscious, if you've already got the Luscious and you've already got the gloss, you've suddenly got a new way to use it. That, I know, it's just all those metallic-y colours now. You've now got, you know, all those extras.
I know.
That you never realised that you already had in your stash.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you haven't got any of the Luscious powders, shame on you.
Thank you so very, very much, Mike.
So I've got to clean up now.
So thank you very much for joining us. We've had such a lovely morning. Get your resin, check out your baskets, take advantage of all those special offers, and thank you so much, Mike.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been great fun.
It's been great having you here.
Thank you.
Really, really enjoyed it.
Maybe we'll have to do it again sometime.
We should. I think we should, shouldn't we? Thank you, everybody. See you very, very soon. Take
Bye.
care now. Bye.